Hey everyone, Captain Beards here, bringing you another Langrisser mobile video. Let's get it. Alright guys, so today's video is going to be a much quicker character guide video, just because, as you know, if you've been watching my recent videos, I have not pulled our girl ZERIDA yet, which is very depressing, but we got to continue. So it's going to be a character guide on how I would build ZERIDA and use her. Unfortunately, I won't be able to showcase her. Now do note guys, if I do pull her in the near future, because I am going to be doing summons every day for her, if I pull her, I will do a re-character guide showing her off in-game and showcasing her at her full potential, her full glory. But until then, unfortunately, I have to bring you guys the guide this way. The only reason why I'm doing it is just because I know a lot of you guys have been asking for this, and I just want to get you out the information on how your boy, the captain, will build the girl. So let's get into this guide. Alright, so going down the chart here, as you can see, you're going to see all her little stuff here and her stats. I don't really like to look at the stat chart too much just because it is good, but I feel like it kind of like robs some characters in some shapes and forms here, especially like her attack stat being a C. I feel like it's much higher than that. It should definitely be like a B or an A. She is an assassin that goes really based off of crits, and crits are never low damage, so I don't know why attack stat is so low there, but we will be going into it here. Now she is part of two factions, which is Dark Reincarnation and Meteor Strike. The Dark Reincarnation is a pretty strong faction in the PvP scene, while the Meteor Strike team is going to be very strong all the way around, especially if you build them the proper way. If you carry Diehart's Origin of Light team and then have Tiaras on the team and then carry your girls right here with the Meteor Strike, that can be a very deadly combo. Now what I am going to do is that before I end this video, I'm going to go into the game and show you guys examples of teams I would run with ZERIDA. Obviously I can't show off the showcase, but I'll show you guys what teams I would run. So her unique skill, which is her talent, is hide and seek. The critical strike rate is increased by 10%. So immediately get her in the game, boom, she's going to get 10% increased critical strike rate. So that's really nice. At the end of the action, so after she moves, if the unit is outside of the danger zone, so this is one unit guys that you want to have that danger zone up all the time. As soon as, if you're moving ZERIDA, have the freaking danger zone up. Click that button and have the danger zone up, or else you're not going to let this second part of her talent activate, which is at the end of the action, if the unit is outside the danger zone, it will enter stealth. Alright, so that means she'll automatically trigger her stealth passive here, which is crit rate, crit damage increase by 15%. So what that means is when you move your girl, she automatically has 10% increased crit rate right here. Let me start highlighting this stuff. She's going to get 10% increased crit rate right there. And then if she's outside of the danger zone, she gets stealth, which means crit rate and crit damage increase by 15%. So she can crit for she'll have a 25% chance to crit if you combine these two passives here, right? And damage reduced by 15% and mobility increased by 1, right? So I believe that's damage taken is reduced by 15%, but I could be wrong by that. I don't think they would give her all that crit and then reduce her damage by 15%. That makes no sense. But and then mobility increased by 1, that last one turn. So initially with your girl, you want to stall a turn, which is absolutely perfect. And this is one reason why I really want her, right? Because what you do with ZERIDA is you're going to move her first turn just to activate the Meteor Strike fusion power, but keeping her out of that danger zone. Then in her next turn is when she's going to go ham, because she's going to have her hide and seek unique skill talent here is going to be kicked off. That means she's going to have a 25% chance to crit and a 15% extra crit damage on top of that. And she's going to have more mobility than her previous last turn, thus letting her move in and clean that target with some crazy crit damage. And it's going to be very, very, very nice, right? So using her hide and seek skill right, comboing with her fusion power is pretty deadly, all right? All right, so let's go over her chart here. So she first starts with assassin here, right? So she gets your typical. She gets her typical thieves. Thieves are decent. They don't do nothing here, so as you can see. Her first skill, which is attack at a single enemy, dealing 1.4 times damage. If all the soldiers they carried before entering the battle have been killed, the attack can ignore the guards and directly damage the enemy. So what that means, I'm going to try to translate everything for you guys here. What that means is if you go and attack somebody and you do this move here, you're going to do 1.4 times damage. But if all your soldiers are dead, this damage here goes straight to the hero. So straight to the hero target. It's going to skip over the soldiers and go straight to the hero, which is super clutch because if the hero is weak and then you can get her soldiers killed, you can actually finish off a very strong and powerful hero with this move, right? Her next skill here, which is a passive, when the percentage of life of the unit is lower than that of the enemy, the attack and defense increase by 10% when entering battle. That means if she has lower health than the enemy she's about to attack, she is going to have increased attack and defense. Excuse me. So, moving on. So that's a really nice passive, nothing too crazy there. I do like the Desperate Blow. I think that's pretty cool. And her next step is Ninja, which is going to be on her left side. So Ninja's pretty good. It does only come with one skill, which is okay. So she's going to get the, it says Elite Gunmans. Those are Lancers and Archers, right? So I would say Elite Gunman. So you got to get the Lancers and the Archers here. The Lancers are pretty good, it looks like, because the crit rate is increased by 20%, and a random weakening effect is applied to the enemy after the crit is triggered, right? So if she crits with these soldiers, she's going to get a debuff on the opponent, which is nice. And then the elves are good for increased attack power by 10%, so that's not too bad here. The skill she's going to get from the Ninja is going to be Physical Injury. When the active attack enters the battle, if the target is not 100% health value, it will cause 1 fixed damage before the war. The damage value is 2 times the hero. Okay, so what that means, guys, if she attacks a target that's not at 100% health, she's going to do fixed damage to the enemy, and it's going to be 2 times what her attack is. So building her attack is not too bad either, especially if you're going to use a move like this, which is Backstab. Alright, her next thing, which is going to be Magic Sword Messenger, which is on this side here of her chart, right side. I don't know if these are what their titles are called in the game because, like I said, I did not pull her. But Magic Sword Messenger, I'm pretty sure that's not what it's called. I'm really sure on that. So this is her demon path, and she's gonna get pretty much the demon units here, as you can see, the skeleton archers and the skeleton warriors, which are not too bad. I feel like she's a ranged unit, so I think the skeleton archers are pretty nice for her. And then you can read on the soldier stuff there, nothing too crazy there, but let's go into what they get. She gets a passive before entering the battle actively. There is a 30% probability of triggering after the war that all damage is reduced by 30% for 1 turn. So the way it's worded here means that when she enters a battle, there's a 30% chance to trigger this, that after the battle, all damage is reduced by 30% for 1 turn. So that means after the battle, if it got triggered, if she gets attacked or attacks again, she's going to take 30% less damage if it triggered. That's the wording there. Like I said, this could be changed in the game, so I'm not too sure about that. Next step is going to be her final steps here, which is going to be her first step, which is Shadow. I'm pretty sure that's probably called something else too. She's going to get your typical Dark Elf archers here. I know they're called something else. And then the assassins here. I feel like the assassins are the really strong set for her just because crit rate increases by 10% and attack increase by 5%. So the attack increase is really nice, but the crit increase is super clean because if you can stack that with her hide and seek talent, yeah, that's going to be freaking deadly. Besides that, she's going to get the physical injury, ignores a single enemy by defensive escort, causing 1.3 times damage. That's the stupidest wording I've ever seen. What that means is she's going to ignore the enemy's soldiers and attack the hero themselves for 1.3 times damage. So this is traditionally her first move here, which is the Desperate Blow, just without having to get your soldiers killed. So that's what that is, and it does a little bit of a less damage, right? So that's what, yeah, that's 1.4, this is 1.3. So this is a little bit better, especially if you want to keep your soldiers alive and try to, instead of trying to get them killed, right? So moving in here, we got her next move here is a passive. The crit rate is increased by 10%. After the troops are eliminated in battle, they can get a chance to move again. So I think this what it means is, right, you're gonna get crit rate increased by 10%, which is nice. After the troops are eliminated, so after your troops are killed in the battle, then you can move again. So means if you go into battle with her, you attack and your soldiers are killed, you get to move again. So not too bad, pretty good move there too. And then her chaos avatar, which I'm pretty sure is called something else, which is her other set. Now this is the path you're probably gonna end up taking for her, which is her right path. Excuse me. Because her right path gives her her fusion power. Now you get the dark elf archers again, and you're gonna get the skeleton warriors this time. So I think this is the skeleton, like, this is the skeleton warriors, but these are like skeleton knights. Yeah, sorry, knights. Nice too. It's really difficult what to choose for her, just because I know there's a lot better stuff you can unlock in game when it comes to the training soldiers and stuff like that, because I feel like her soldiers here don't have a lot of potential, but who knows, maybe you guys are having a lot more success with her. Anyways, so her fusion power, of course, it does your traditional increase attack and defense, all that other good stuff here. Now this is what's important. When there is no friendly army around, which means when there are no friendly units around the square, the damage is increased by 10%. So if you put her somewhere else, or anybody in their meteor strike somewhere else with nobody around, that means they're going to get increased 10% damage, right? And if they kill somebody, they get to move again 2 squares. Now 2 squares isn't a lot, but at least they get to move again. And opportunity and return of life after the end of an action. So that means there is a 20% chance that they can get health from this passive or move here. So her fusion power has a lot to it. You're going to get increased damage if you're not near anybody. So pretty much this is like, if you run in the meteor strike team, you're not really going to be running any tanks. That's what it looks like. There's a chance to heal up and a chance to move after you kill somebody. So not chance to move, you will move after you kill somebody. Then her final move here, which is bloodthirsty sword, probably called something else too, sacrifices all soldiers. So this is going to kill all her soldiers and then get the soldiers that, let's read this, let's try to read this and translate this. The soldiers cannot be treated the active attack into the battle, the damage increased by 30%, and immune all weakening effect. And after the effect, the damage caused by 50% of damage effect, this effect cannot be dispelled. So the way it looks like is she's going to sacrifice her soldiers and then increase her damage and be immune to almost anything, and all that good stuff. So looks nice, but like I said, I would probably have to see that in game to really play around with it and mess around with it. But yes, so my recommendation is, if you, let's go over to the game now so that I can actually tell you what you should do with her. All right, in the game here, so if you are a person that has every meteor strike unit, let's go over to Angelina, of course, because she's like waifu right now. All right, so if you have every strike unit in the game, then it is by far the easiest choice for you. Take her down her fusion power route and you will be very satisfied, right? Because you can run a very powerful meteor strike team. Now, see these units right here? Now let's go into a mission here so that way I can show you guys what I mean by what kind of team comps you can run with her. Because she is part of the meteor strike team, so we'll go in Anarchy here, but we're not going to do the mission. Oh, I put team battle. My bad. We're not going to do the mission. We're just going to go in and show you guys some team comps you can run here. So meteor strike team. So pretty much you can do things like this. No, not you. Like this. Kirikaze. Of course, what I say 100% all the time. Okay, they're already there. And running a healer. So something like this. And then ZERIDA could take the last spot here. So this could be a team comp you could run. You can even run, if you want pure SSRs, pure deeps, you could run something like that. So what's going to happen here is ZERIDA is going to be a DPS dealer just like your boy Diehard here. And then you got Cherry, which is going to be long range, so taking care of far units. And then you're going to have your girl Angelina be a tank, pretty much just tank damage, get in the boss's face and just stay on the front lines, while your ranged units such as your Diehard and your ZERIDA take care of the business. Now where does Tiaras come into play is that she's a healer, so she's not really going to be doing much. so she can stay on that back line. Now, what's pretty good about Tiara's too is she is part of the Origins of Light fusion power. So if you do have Diehard, you can run double fusions. You can have Diehard here, and then you can have ZERIDA here running the fusion powers, and Tiaras will still get a buff. Now, it's not necessary to have Tiaras. You can also have Liana run in that 4th spot too, so that way you can still have a very powerful healer on your side while running this team. Now, this could be your team comp here, and you can even do the whole Leon team scene here, which I do want to test out when I do pull ZERIDA. See, I still have hope that I'm going to pull ZERIDA, which this is going to be my team comp here. So, twin power team, and what I'm going to do is have ZERIDA in my last spot here, but she is going to carry her own fusion power, so she's going to buff herself. And remember, like I said, guys, what you want to do with her is you want to carry her fusion power, so that way you can move her into a spot. Let's show you an example here. I have Diehard be ZERIDA right now. So this is what you're going to want to do here. I'm very sorry for the longer video. All right. Oh, no. Stop that. I know, you'll butcher him. All right. So what you're going to want to do here, guys, is you're going to take your ZERIDA here. You're going to throw that danger zone. Every time you move ZERIDA, throw the danger zone on. So what you're going to want to do is throw the danger zone on, move her in a spot, activate her fusion power so she's not in the danger zone. What's going to kick off is she's going to get her fusion power buff. Then her talent is going to kick off, causing her crit to increase even more. And then her next turn, when you do attack, it's going to be a tremendous amount of crit damage. And it's just going to be beautiful, beautiful death that she's going to rain down on people. So the Demon Princess is amazing. Unfortunately, like I said, she doesn't have the Princess Alliance fusion power, but that's a-okay because she carries her own fusion power. So that is completely fine. Anyways, guys, I am truly sorry I cannot run the showcase for you guys. I really wish I could. I am trying, like I said, every single day. I'm going to be summoning for her. Right now, I'm not going to summon right now because I summoned earlier today. So I do have 4 Trinity vouchers. I will have 10 by tomorrow. Now, on a side note, guys, thank you for all the support. Unfortunately, we're still not at our 1,000 subscriber marks like we were before. That's a-okay. I'm going to stay positive no matter what. But I know some of you guys have been asking me to open up a Patreon. So I have opened up a Patreon. The link is going to be down below. It is not necessary to donate. It just coming in here and subscribing to my channel and just commenting below and telling me about all your awesome pulls and stuff is just more than enough for me, guys. But if you guys do want to support the channel even more, then you can go ahead and support that too. But besides that, live streams are coming, guys. So that is on its way, and hopefully, you know, I might go and do some live streams and do some world arenas and some joint battles with you guys, have you guys challenge me and stuff. I know a lot of you guys will probably kick my ass because I'm pretty far in the game, but I know some of you guys are crazy high levels and you got crazy work into your units. Anyways, guys, have an awesome day. It's your boy, Captain Beards. Peace out.